Hey folks, Delayering from the 6 here. I am on my way to Algonquin Park to do some winter camping in the trailer. It's supposed to get down below zero tonight, and then the other 2 nights that I'm going to be out, I think it will be above zero. Now this trailer is not meant for winter camping, so it should be kind of interesting to see if I can keep myself warm, especially on the first night. I'm going with a winterized rig, so there's going to be no use of the plumbing in the trailer whatsoever. Join me as I test out this camper in some cold weather and on a winter camp. A little note on fuel economy. I was averaging 20 liters per 100 kilometers, and it's all about the wind. So it's kind of going into the wind to get up to Highway 60, which is the one I'm on now. But now that I'm on 60, it's already dropped down to 19.5. Feels like the car's driving not much differently than it would without the trailer because there's such a heavy tailwind right now. And so just one thing to expect if you are new to towing a trailer is that if you have a headwind, you are going to burn a lot of fuel. So I'll update you at the end of the trip and we'll see what we got when we get back to Toronto. So maybe we'll get a little bit of a winter look to this video. Looks like they just had some snow here. So there's the comfort station. It is open. Hockey rink is probably closed. It's too warm. Didn't bring my skates anyway, so. All right, we got a nice waterfront site. It's electric. And where to put the trailer? That is the next question. Alright, so I got here and I actually just refilmed how to hitch up. I'm going to use that for a video on the channel and also to help with my renters. And I've got the microwave set up. So we have a very rather than getting the built-in microwave here, we just carry one. And actually we never carry it, but I thought for this trip it'd be handy because I didn't know how inconvenient it was going to be to wash dishes. I gotta back up so you guys can see me. I didn't know how inconvenient it'd be to wash dishes, so I figured I'll just do some frozen dinners and I'll bring the microwave and I'll just do them in there. And I do have some stuff for the barbecue. I brought a steak, I've got some potatoes and so on. But for tonight, it's getting late, so I'm just gonna throw something in the microwave, have a few snacks along with that, have a beer, relax. And didn't get everything set up, so you guys can see on the floor there, that's our mat, so I'll set that up outside later on. And I do have a big mess of photography gear here up at the front, which I'm gonna have to deal with. And actually, because I'm still winterized, I did go and buy these toilet waste bags though, so I'm gonna give these a try. I'll leave a link in the description for them. And if I do end up using them, I mean, you know, this is more just going to be for a middle of the night situation. But they have a gel that I guess if you pee in it, it kind of solidifies it and so on. And then they seal up and you can just throw them in the garbage. So you know, they go with various different kinds of toilets. But I'm just going to put it inside of our toilet here in the trailer. See how that goes. So anyway, stay tuned for a review of how these worked out. So that's how I'm kind of handling it in terms of camping with no hookups and with no plumbing and so on. I've got this big jug of water here for drinking and for cooking and so on. And I can run over to the comfort station and if I want to, you know, wash my hands or what have you. So anyway, so far the Truma Combi is doing a great job of keeping the trailer warm. So it's probably just right around 0 right now, which would be freezing. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but right at the freezing mark. Trailer is fine though, so far. And I don't even have it running on propane. I'm just using the electricity. I do have electricity, an electrical 30 amp hookup here. So I might be able to pull this off without even using any propane. That'd be kind of cool. All right, I'm going to eat, and I'll check in with you in a few minutes. So one of the cool things about this rig is the table can go to the back. So once you've pulled it out of the front, you just stick it back here. It's got that little base, so it doesn't have a track like it does at the front. And as a family, we've had many dinners back here when the weather is too miserable outside to eat outside. There you go. And it's actually quite solid. So, voila. Now I've got a table at the back. So this is the maiden voyage for this microwave. The old one that we had in the rig died. I was pretty happy we got one that kind of matches the color of the vinyl that we put on the dinette. I think that's kind of cool. So while that's microwaving, I guess the next challenge is going to be moisture management. So I know things are going to fog up in here. It's very cold outside, it's warm in here. I'm breathing and, you know, sweating and all the rest of it. Not really sweating, just, you know, we give off a huge amount of moisture. Having said that, I don't want to have so much ventilation that it gets cold in here. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crack the vent open, just a smidge. All right, there, it's just cracked. And then I'll just crack that window over there. All right, no fan. I'm not going to use the fan, but we'll give that a try, see how that works. So a little tip, if you're using a microwave like this, the way we are, don't throw out the cardboard that the glass came in, because basically when we're traveling, we're just going to put it back in here, and that way we don't have to worry about it breaking or whatever. So it gives you a nice way to store it in the microwave during travel. So keep this cardboard, put the glass in it, and you're all set. So I stopped to grab some milk for my coffee in the morning, and I don't know, these peppers look so good I decided to grab. So they weren't really a part of the original plan. What I'm going to do, I've put a little bit of water in a cup, and I'm just going to wash them, let it dump into this bowl, and then I can toss that out tomorrow. So here we go. It's not exactly gourmet, but I got a frozen pad thai, a pepper that I cut up, and I'm gonna have some Ritz cheddar jalapeno crackers. Should fill me up. So I just had that dreaded walk to the bathroom because I don't have plumbing in here right now, because it's winter, and even though it's going to be fairly warm, it's still going to be below zero. And I don't want to risk screwing up the plumbing in the rig. So, bought these guys. And let's just take a look at it. So this is called Double Duty. That's a good name. And got 2 bags. One is like a Ziploc bag, and I guess this is where the actual business goes, right here. Bag could be a little bigger and wider. This toilet may not be as deep as it's intended for, but I guess that'll have to do if I have an emergency. So I won't film any of that, but I'll let you know how it goes. So I'm going to set up the bed and hit the sack. Alright folks, just hitting the sack here. Just show you. Got this is a pretty heavy sleeping bag. I think it's rated to about -5 or so. And then I've also got a fleece liner, which provides quite a bit of extra warmth. If I do get cold, I actually have another sleeping bag. That's a double sleeping bag, so it will, like these will fit inside of that one, no problem. But ready to hit the sack now. And we'll explore the campground a little bit tomorrow. And maybe do some hikes as well. So we'll see you tomorrow. Morning. It's 10 to 7. It's pretty chilly in here, but this setup with the sleeping bag and the fleece turned out to be pretty warm. Actually very warm. I was sweating if anything. So no problem with that. And I'm gonna get up, make some coffee, have some breakfast, and then decide what I'm gonna do with this, what's supposed to be an incredibly beautiful day. So let's get to it. So I was going to do some filming around the campsite, but it's still pretty darn cold this morning. And there's also, they've been a lot of chainsaw noise. I guess they're culling some trees in the campground. So I'm going to do a hike, and it's called the Provoking Lake Loop. It's about 18 kilometers. So I'm guessing that's about 12 miles. It takes, all in all trails, they're saying around 5 to 6 hours to do it. And I've always wanted to do this trail. With the kids, we actually started it earlier in the winter, but we had driven all the way from Toronto. We weren't able to finish it. We had to turn around so we get back to the car before it got dark. So really looking forward to it. It's at least the part that we did was really beautiful, and I'm thinking the rest of it's going to be just as or even more beautiful. So here we go. Provoking Lake Trail. Beautiful day today, really sunny. So the trailhead is actually just 50 meters or so from my campsite. So I'm expecting it to be very icy on the trail though. So we'll probably have to use the crampons, but we'll see. So this is the start. Glare ice. All right, now I've got my traction to hit this icy trail. just crossing the rail trail. That's the kind of ice there is out on the trails in Algonquin here in March break, guys. So this is the first big climb. So you're gonna go up a long ways to get to the Provoking Lake Loop. Right now I'm just walking on kind of a side trail from Mew Lake Campground. And I personally wouldn't want to try this without crampons. I'm sure there are people that do, but to each his own, I guess. Okay. Let me tell you, that is a climb and a half, but it feels good. So I've hit that time to delayer. I've already put my gloves and my hat in the bag, and I'm going to get rid of the jacket. It's still probably maybe 2 degrees below zero, but once you get going, you start sweating, and I don't want to sweat like crazy because I don't have a lot of water, and this is a long hike. So a little side note, I've got one of those guys, and he's trying to get into the trailer, so we're gonna find out if the Safari Condo is rodent proof or not, because the one that was by the campsite there, he was trying hard. Beautiful little stream. Down into Starling Lake. There's a beautiful lookout right at the top of those cliffs across the lake there, which I don't know if I'm going to have time to get to, because it's probably about a half-hour side trail. So at the top of this hill is the start of the loop, if I remember correctly. But it's a pretty good climb. Something about winter hiking. Alright, so I have made it to the loop. Highland backpacking trail can take up to 8 hours. So I'm hoping to do it in maybe 5 or 6. We'll see. But anyway, I got plenty of daylight. Won't get dark for about another 8 hours. I've got the map downloaded on all trails, so it works even if I don't have cell signal. And just sort of monitor, okay, if it took me 4 hours to get to this point, if I'm not halfway, then I'll turn around. So I do have a headlamp, and I'm prepared to be in the dark, but on all this ice and everything, it just seems like a bad idea. Couldn't ask for a more beautiful day, though. So I was going to do it in the campsite, but seeing as how I'm out on the trail, I guess I'm doing it on the trail. Just kind of an update on how the camping trip is going. So I was not cold last night. The trailer was pretty darn cool, though. I got up once to go to the bathroom, so I did use that bag. We'll see how that works out. And it was definitely cold when I got out of the sleeping bag, but in the sleeping bag it was fine. I slept straight through from about 10:30 to about 5:45. Which is, for me, that's my normal 7 hours. I don't usually sleep much more than that. And yeah, I mean, maybe I was too aggressive with the amount that I opened the vent, because there was literally not even a tiny bit of humidity, condensation inside the trailer. The windows were dry. So today I'll just try to crack it a little bit less so I don't lose as much of the heat. But yeah, so far so good. It is going to be below zero again tonight, but it's not going to be nearly as cold. So I think last night it might have gotten as low as 10 below. It was -7 when I got in the car. I just went and picked up some firewood, and so hopefully we'll have a fire tonight. And yeah, but so far so good. I don't think I'd want to do this if it was 20 below, though. I think this temperature is probably the limit of this trailer. But hey, still a beautiful spot though. Wow. And this is why we always keep coming back to Algonquin. It's not the massive grandeur of the Rockies, but it definitely has its own beauty for sure. So there's a look at my progress on the blue line. Still quite a ways to go. Not even noon yet though. So should have plenty of time to do the lookout and everything. I told you I'd end up in the t-shirt. This is not normal for March, folks. But anyway, it is what it is. And I took off the crampons too because there's just not much snow up here. So I've come across this, and there's just this little bit of a ledge. I mean, I could go down over there, but it's gonna mean getting my butt real dirty. So I'm gonna try and put the crampons back on, and I'm gonna try and just go across and then down that way. So wish me luck. It's kind of scary that it's March and I'm standing with the wind blowing off a frozen lake and the wind is warm. That is not right, folks. Wow. I also I'm gonna put the crampons back on. So I actually, just before I got here, it's always that way too, just before you're gonna take your break, I just slipped and fell on the ice on the trail. So I should have put my crampons back on once I hit the ice again, and I didn't. So I think I'm okay. I don't feel nothing really hurts. So I had my poles, so I think I caught a lot of the fall with the poles and really just kind of slid not gracefully down. But we'll see. My hips, maybe my hips a little sore, but anyway, as they told us in New Zealand on Tongariro, there's only one way you're getting out of here, and that is walking. So I'm gonna have a snack and then hit the trail.